everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Hello! How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Let me bring the music down a little bit. Okay, we are a little late, so I'm not prepared. You know, it took really long to get home. The goddamn public transits on the way home right now are really confusing because there's like a whole new route coming into play. Took me like 2.5 hours to get home, and I'm really annoyed, really pissed off. So honestly, I didn't even want to go stream today. I didn't even want to go live today because of how pissed off I am with the public transit near my area today. And it took unnecessarily long. I could have been home so much earlier. Had to rush the thumbnail. Took a quick little cold shower because I was sweating buckets. It's so fucking hot outside. I was dying, so mentally exhausted from the heat, hungry, starving myself, and on top of that, I have to now talk to 3 viewers on stream about stocks and draw a line. So really not in the mood today, but we're not gonna let all that stop us from staying on routine, staying on top of our homework, staying on top of the task that needs to be done and prepared for, which is the market. What is going to move tomorrow? How can we make money tomorrow as we made money today? So today I had a pretty good day overall. Nice green day for myself. Started the day hot. Started the day really hot, and then gave back my whole day, but then managed to make back some of that day and end on the green side. So we'll show you guys my trades on the day, my thinking behind each one of those executions, and then we'll try to craft a watch list. But for the most part, you know, I don't have a watch list prepared at all, so I'm just going to pick a couple stocks from the earnings board. If you guys have any names that you want me to really take a look at, feel free to throw it in the chat, and then we'll look at some of those names too, and prepare for what we can, the best we can. But I feel like tomorrow is going to be one of those days for me where you know, I'm going to have to do most of my preparation work in pre-market and not actually the stream where I do most of my work. So we're gonna have to see how that sets up, because I don't feel like the work I'm gonna do today is going to be quality because of how pissed off I am. I'm still very angry, still fuming with how long it took me to get home today. So absolutely angry on that side. Coming to the earnings board, we did have banks reporting today. Banks gave you a pretty good opportunity. Citibank, talked about that one, above $88, $89. That gave you a good long. Wells Fargo sold off. JP Morgan didn't really do too much if I remember correctly. State Street sold off. BKNY, I didn't actually look at BK at all. Possibly worth taking a look at BK right now to see how they ended up moving. BK, oh, they moved right back down, even though I guess a flat day for BK, nothing really too exciting over there. And that's about it for the earnings names in the pre-market. The after-hour names on the earnings board really dead in my opinion. There's nothing over here that I care about to even talk about. There's some names tomorrow pre-market that for sure gets us excited. We got more bank names along with ASML, J&J. So those are the non-bank names out there. The bank names are Goldman Sachs, or should I say Goldman Sachs, Bank of America being the other one, and Morgan Stanley. So a couple names over there on the pre-market side that we're going to talk about today before the end of the stream. Let's start the stream with, as we always do, my trades on the day. As I mentioned earlier, I had a pretty good start, starting off with MP. I think was announced that they're gonna have an Apple deal of some sorts. It really doesn't matter about the Apple deal in my opinion, but more importantly, it's the fact that the stock's got a high short float. It's gapping up into a new price area, and there's a lot of room to the upside. So had the stock wanted to go test that upside area, then you know, I wanted to be ready for that opportunity. So there was a little bit of a back and forth action over here right below the high of day, which was, if I remember correctly, 58.30. So right before the high of day, around 58.30, there was some tight action going back and forth. It would try to get above 58.30 but reject on every single push up to the north side, eventually managing to break that high and then giving you a monster run up, which I was able to capitalize. I was a little premature on the covers. You can see how most of my shares are already out in about $1 or $2 per share winner, and the big move that I end up capturing, I don't really end up capturing that with a lot of size. However, my best trade on the day, so I'm not gonna cry about that too much. Maybe I should cry about it, because that's the only way you improve. Because if you are satisfied with these exits, then you're forever going to be satisfied and not make that sweet cheddar cheese that you want to do. So a little premature for sure. The stock never broke 5-minute lows. If you were just trailing the 5-minute lows on this name as it broke out, what was the name? MP. If you just trailed 5-minute lows as it broke out the high day, I mean, it never really broke until this area, which I did take an exit right there. You can see how the 5-minute low breaks. I do take a partial on that breakdown. And later on, the 9 EMA is where I basically closed the trade. So monster trade. Had I been able to hold it for that whole move, that would have been even juicier payout on the day, and you know, I would have been a nice day to start my day, my trading back again. Because if you guys remember, I had like a week or two break. I didn't need to take that break, but I just said screw it, I'm gonna take a nice week or two break away from the market, come back to it fresh and feel you know, nice and relaxed. And looks like that relaxed mindset actually helped me find a very good trade to start the day. However, later on in the day, that kind of went the opposite. So you guys heard me talk about Citigroup yesterday. Citigroup we were looking for that hold above 89, and in this area it looked like it was gonna hold above 89 a little bit, but the conference call started at 11 o'clock, and as the conference call started, the stock started to dip right back into lower day, finds support at the lower day, and then the news comes out that the Citigroup is looking to get into stable coins. That launches the stock to the upside, and now I have FOMO. So first I try the long over here as a starter size. I get stopped out on that. Then I see the stock get back above 89. So now I'm turning this into a real trade now. I get stopped out on that also. And then a couple minutes after I get stopped out, you start seeing the volume and the momentum coming into play. So I FOMO into that trade, but I immediately get out of that trade because I recognize that I FOMO'd. And then later on, I try to see if there was actually more upside, if the stock was going to hold the $90 area. It tries to hold 90 on the pullback, but doesn't really have much follow through at the higher day. And then you can see right at the higher day, you have some sort of a bouncy ball setup, an inverse bouncy ball setup over here, going right into $90.60, $90.70, allowed me to capture a nice little long over here. So capturing that long, taking some profits on the pop, and then trying to see if there was a bigger move for me to capitalize on, but then double top over there on that stock again. So exiting and just walking away with my profits. But Citigroup, boy oh boy, had I not made the mistake of not looking at when the conference calls are. I usually always take a look at when conference calls are going on in the stock, or any stock, I mean. Missed out on that by not doing the research and got shaken out of the trade over here. Also, the stop should have been really low a day, so premature stops, not really accurate stop usage, punching out of the trade myself, and having to book a sizable loss on this trade. Eventually, actually, this area combined with SMCI trading today, I actually gave back all of the money I made on MP, and later on in the day, right here, this long, I end up making about $1 per share on this long, so that helps me make back some money on the day and actually end green. So it was very, very possible that I was gonna end the day possibly red after having a monster day on MP. I shouldn't say monster day because it was not like a P&L based, it wasn't huge. Just the trading setup, right? After having a decent start to my day on MP, I kind of just got overconfident. Started over trading a little bit, started trading in no man's land and paid the price, waiting for the setup, right? All you have to do is wait for the setup. There was a setup over here, there was another setup over here, and those were the only two times that I made money on these losing trades today, or losing tickers. Overall, they should not even been losers, because why am I playing in the in middle in no man's land? Why am I playing when the stock doesn't really have a setup, right? So just gotta fix those little errors, those little bucket leaks, and then you're just bound to start making more profits, make more money on the winners, lose less money on the losers, and so on. NVIDIA, my manager called out this trade. He was actually calling it out right here. I missed out that entry in this area, but I said, you know what? What's the difference between 170.150 and then 170.120? Like 30 cents. I can afford an extra 30 cents of loss on this name and still risk it to this area. I'll just have to size appropriately. So figuring that, I'm okay with risking this, and I'll just size less. So I took that entry. That ended up being a pretty decent run up to the north side. I added one more lot just in case NVIDIA wanted to go ballistic to the upside. It did not want to go ballistic, stalled off into higher day. S&P 500 was also breaking lower day at that point. So all things considered, I figured, SMCI is already struggling. SMCI tried to go multiple times and failed. Other stocks are kind of struggling on the day too. What are the chances that NVIDIA reclaims VWAP and then just goes on a monumental generational run today. Chances are it doesn't, because the market's not doing that. So figuring, you know, I'll just cut the trade over here. If Nvidia starts to create some sort of a range into high a day around 171, 172.40, 172.30 or so, then I could look to get back into the name, possibly a breakout here or possibly a breakout here. It just didn't set up like that, so I don't have to get back in, and I'm absolutely break even on that name today. So 4 trades on the day. One positive, 1 break even, 2 red, overall green day, and a nice day to start. Nice way to start. I guess not really a nice way, but still a green day. So nice way to start my July over here for me. Sadly, we're starting July halfway in, and I'm going to miss Monday. Oh yeah, I should let you guys know, by the way, I'm not going to be streaming Monday because I have to travel to the great America, the great state of the great country of America, the parent country of the 51st state. So I'll be in America for my younger cousin's high school graduation ceremony, celebrating that with my family members and so on. So I will not be able to stream Monday, but we are back to all systems go on Tuesday. Just letting you guys know, heads up warning. These are my trades on the day, so let's head over to looking at some of the hot movers on the day. What stocks moved around? Obviously, MP was one of the names. MP is, if you look at on the daily, a little extended now. So in the past 4 or 5 days, it has made over 4 ATR move. It actually looks like it's making a 10 ATR move right now in over 4 or 5 days. So looking to see if there's some sort of exhaustion coming into play for us to look to short this name. This is a little parabolic. You're multiple ATRs now away from another stock that's in the same basket that I would love to short once it goes up higher. But tomorrow might be a long above 1050, 1040, above 1040, 1050, could be a long into $11 over here, and then a short from $11, which is our cap. But coming back to the stock we were talking about, MP, it is 103% above its 50-day moving average, and it is currently 13, let's just say 14 ATRs away from its 50-day moving average. That's quite a bit. It's extended AF. So watching how the stock plays out, here's something to keep an eye out for. If the stock is able to hold above 58 tomorrow, you want to be careful looking for that extreme short. Yes, it's extended, but doesn't mean that it can't go higher. The sector is a little hot at the moment. They got a fresh new catalyst. This could be an episodic pivot. They are heavily shorted, like 20, 30, maybe even 50% short float. I can't remember what the short float is to be exact, so we're gonna have to go check on that. What is MP's short float? 25%. So I was accurate when I said 20 to 30. And you know, obviously if 58 ends up holding on this bad boy, then it's not ready to short just yet for me, because I've talked about how the importance of the midpoint is for me on these high volatile candles. So watch out how MP holds up tomorrow. If it's holding below 58, I think I'm going to be a little bit more excited for the short side. And you can see how today's VWAP is actually right around that 58 area, 58.78 on the 5-minute chart. But if you just look at the little dip over here in the after hours, that's right at $58. The opening range breakout, that was at $58. So overall, you know, I'm just gonna say 58. Nice and easy number, 58, for us to keep an eye out for. If the stock does manage to hold above that, I'm not interested on the short at all. Maybe even interested, TOMORROW, maybe even interested in a long, depending on how the chart looks. Holding 58 might just open up more squeeze action, more parabolic, you know, monster moves could come into play on that stock as a day 2 play. So today would be a complete reset. Yeah, it had a day 1, day 2, day 3. This is not day 4. This is a hard reset. This is day 1. So we'll see how day 2, day 3 set up on this bad boy going into the next few days. Going into from MP over to the next name, that would be SMCI had a good day today. SMCI finally getting back above that 50, 53 area. So I added this one to my long-term account. I was already long from 51-ish or so. Adding more to my stock today, to my portfolio today on SMCI. So love watching this name play out. When this name breaks out of the daily chart range, then obviously the day trades also get exciting for us on this name. So SMCI, watching to see if today's low gets respected. As long as it stays above 50, the idea is still valid. But I don't want to see $50. I want to see it staying above today's low. I want to see it staying above today's VWAP, which I want to say is like around $52, $53. So today's VWAP is 53. If SMCI manages to stay above 53 tomorrow, I think it's a much better chart for the long move. But if SMCI does give up 53, it's not really bearish until SMCI starts to trade below 50. So just some pointers to throw out there for you swing traders and also for you day traders. If you are looking for a day trade long, don't be surprised if the stock goes back to $50 and then bounces. However, me being Prad, I don't want to see 50. I want to see today's VWAP holding up. So SMCI without a doubt on the watch list to keep an eye out for. These are like your all-day watch list watchers, or always evergreen. That's the word I'm looking for. These are your evergreen watchers. SMCI, Palantir, Robinhood. Robinhood got sold off pretty drastically today on the bill rejection. Coinbase, Circle were some of the other stocks that joined that party to the downside. But Robinhood, even though they all pushed down, they all still hold up pretty well, right? Still above the 9-day moving average for Robinhood. And if Robinhood manages to get above 101, that's a long over there for the day trade and for the swing trade that you want to, possibly keep an eye out for. For the swing trade, I might not really take that. I'm already in Robinhood at 66. Maybe I'll add a little bit, but I won't add in a way where it ruins my average and completely screws my trade up for me, right? So we'll look to see how I want to play the swing and on the hood over here. But for the day trade, 101, we're holding above 101 on dips. It's all systems go for the long, baby. NEM was a sleeper. I did not expect that move, but what a nice, what a nice trend day on day one news. What was the news on NEM? I'm not even sure what NEM, Newmont? Yes, I remember Newmont. Okay, so NEM pushed to the downside. Nice sell-off. Is this around all-time high? It's not. Let's zoom out a little bit. This is the weekly chart. So you can see that there is resistance around this area. Previous support turning into resistance. Going back into the daily chart, that is a pretty big candle. You can see how the volatility on the stock is actually not a lot. Volume is 28 million. The ATR kind of smaller than what we're seeing today, so pretty big volume, pretty big range overall too. So not sure what the news is. Maybe we can click on this and find out. Australian gold stocks fall after bullion prices weaken overnight. Is that it? Is this a gold? Oh, I guess, is this based on MP? Because Apple didn't partner with MP. CFO resigned. Gotcha. Thank you, Ricky. Rick. Not sure if I can call you a Ricky, sorry about that. But NEM, yeah, for sure worth keeping an eye on for possible day 2 moves. Kind of want to see the stock staying below today's VWAP, but you can see how going into close and into the after hours, we are already above today's VWAP. So ideally, it gets back below today's VWAP for some sort of a day 2 and stays below today's VWAP for a continuation. Wow, my mouse is going to shit. I gotta break this mouse and time to bet and you get a new one. NEM. What was the halfway point on this stock? Also, what fell? I don't know what fell off my table. This halfway point right here at 58, wasn't that the VWAP? 58, 57 is VWAP, 58 was the halfway point, and we are 50 cents away from that halfway point. So somewhere between 58 to 57, I think you want to see NEM showing a rejection if you are looking for that day 2. If it doesn't reject around the 57 to 58 area, then you want to be very careful shorting it. Maybe today's news was irrelevant. You know, someone just wanted to short the name because they didn't like the CFO, or they loved the CFO, and they didn't like the fact that the CFO resigned. At the end of the day, things don't drastically change fundamentally for the stock because the CFO resigned, does it? Like, they're still profitable. I'm just throwing words out there. They're probably still profitable. They're not going to drastically start making less money overall than they have been just because of CFO, right? So overall, not sure if that news is going to be overly bearish for a day 2, but if it is, you don't want to see the stock above 58. If it is above 58, there might even be some sort of a long back into $60 for a reversion opportunity, but it's not as extended just yet to even keep an eye out for that reversion trade. Maybe we go over to our good friend Yanni from SMB Capital, or ex-SMB Capital trader Yanni. This is his indicator over here. What was the ticker again? NEM. NEM just about to start getting into the -4 ATR in 5 days time period. But for that, you would need the stock to, you know, go even lower to the downside. So if it's below 57, below 58, there's your day 2 short. If it's above 58, it's most likely going back up in the ATR column in this indicator, which would basically tell me that, hey, today's move was fugazi, and most likely we're gonna go right back into the $60 area. Possibly a trade to keep an eye on. I'm more interested on the short though. I like the short idea better, so for sure on the watch list. Thank you, Rick, for pointing that one out for me. DK England's in the house. What's up, DK? How you doing? Market, High Pride, could you share your thoughts on the overall price action on NASDAQ and SPY? Both closed weak, sign of the top in the near market. I think those are kind of too big of a blanket statement. You know, it's too soon to say it's a top. It's too soon to call, you know, this is a weak close. Would you really call this a weak close when the market basically still closed on the positive after gapping up to a new all-time high? Nvidia announced a new catalyst that basically is going to add like $20 billion worth to Nvidia. So is that really topping out signs? Then you also have stocks like Baba doing a 200-day moving average undercut and rally. You have other Chinese stocks gapping back up to the north side. I wouldn't really use those words just yet. You know, let the market go down like 5%, then we can talk about possible tops of short term. Let the market break below the 9-day moving average, then we can talk about possible breaks on the short term. It's too soon to throw those statements out and to start getting bearish on the market. The market hasn't even gotten up below the 200-day moving average. The last all-time high, the market was at 612. We're at like 620, 630. So I don't understand why we're even thinking about the market in such ways. You know, Amazon is just starting its ascent. Google is just starting its ascent. Microsoft is breaking all-time high and looking ridiculously strong. Since Microsoft announced its earnings report, it never broke its 9-day moving average. Is this what a stock looks like when markets are topping out, when markets are weak? So don't just see like, oh, S&P 500 gapped up today, but we closed red. Does that mean that, you know, doomsday is here? Is Michael Burry going to make billions of dollars now? No, I don't think thinking like that is accurate. One day's, here, zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. Where is your red day? Where is your 0.5% red day on the chart in the grand scheme of the market? Insignificant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your name is. Okay, so there you go. Overall, on the week so far, the stock market is down 0.24%. On the week. On the year, we are up how much? God damn it, where the fuck is this? There we go. On the year, we are up 10%. We were down 10%, and now we are up 10%. Is that right? Hold up. On the year, we were down 20%, and now we are up 5-ish, 10-ish, 4-ish%. You know, look how far the market just recovered. I don't think it's the top signs just yet. I would want to see the market really getting below some of the moving averages. I want to see Nvidia getting slammed back down. I want to see SMCI in $30 area. I want to see Citibank. Okay, first, forget Citibank. I want to see Coinbase at $100. Then we can talk about market being weak, okay? I'll stop my rant about that at the moment. Move on from that one, Prad. Market's not weak. Good evening, TraderPrad. Give you a like and time to go catch up with Adara. Good luck with that. Hopefully you're back now. Where are we? Market sell-off in the last 15 minutes was ugly. Into the close, I didn't even pay attention to it. Sell-off could carry over into Wednesday's open. I mean, yeah, you have the whole Trump blah, 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 blah. What's going on? Anyways, you had the my friend is talking about SBAT over here. You had the whole Trump bill issue causing plays, the Trump bill being rejected. Trump is gonna be throwing a little hissy fit and crying about how the market's not or they're not doing what he wants it to. I'm guessing that's the sell-off you're talking about over there. That sell-off got corrected. Oh, that's Coinbase. Sorry. Oh shit, okay, yeah, that's a pretty good sell-off into the close over here on the market. Nice little sell-off for sure, possibly extending into tomorrow's open. At the moment, we are holding in the after hours right above Monday's VWAP, which is good. We'll see if we continue to hold above Monday's VWAP, but it's still too soon to say that the top in the market is in just yet, right? So, these are... slowly let them build. It's one day doesn't make the market, one day doesn't break the market. So for me, I don't really care what happened on that aspect. You know, it's what are my positions doing on the overall grand scheme. Dell having a failed breakout. Where's my stop? My stop is the 21-day moving average. If the stock gets below the 21-day moving average, I'm done with my trade. Where am I long? 116, 117. I'm going to be out on this trade at 121. Boo-hoo, wow, 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 who cares? Did I make money? Yes. SMCI, same thing. MSTU, same thing. Right? Any of these names that I'm in, I have my stops. And when I do get stopped out, I'm getting stopped out in the money. So just make sure that you're trading the market well. You're sticking to your rules, sticking to your plans, and trailing your winners, cutting your losers. You know, sometimes you get it wrong. NBIS, for example, I cut my loser, and now it would have been a winner. But is that how I'm supposed to be day trading and swing trading? No, I can't be swing trading and day trading on hopium. It's got to be behind setups. I got to stick to my rules. I got to stick to my risk management setups and so on. And according to that, I take a loss here, but then I can always look to get back in and then join the next trend whenever that trend shows up on NBIS. Continuing to down the watch list over here, someone mentioned Tesla, Boeing and Tesla. Boeing had a pretty good move to the upside initially today, but that got stuffed back down. This was on the news catalyst that Indonesia is going to buy 50 Boeing airplanes. That's a lot of Boeing airplanes for Indonesia, so we'll see how that one plays out. Pretty good spike initially, but then that spike got completely reverted, so not sure how that ends up playing out, but obviously a name to keep an eye on potentially for some trades. Tesla, someone mentioned Tesla. John Vaughn mentioned Tesla. Ooh, big pullback on Tesla in the after hours over here. I told one of my friends to dump Tesla when it got below the 200-day. He didn't listen to me, and he probably bought more. Hopefully he listens to me this time. I'm kind of getting tired of telling people what to do, you know? Like, your friends, this is the worst part about being a trader. Your friends message you, they ask you about what to do in the market, you tell them what to do, they don't do it. It's like, why the fuck did you ask me in the first place then? Like, why am I busting my ass over here working for you and I don't even get to make a penny? If you win, you get to say, oh, look at me, I made all this money. If you lose, you say, you gave me the pick, you're the worst trader I ever know, you suck at this, you're the reason I lost money. It's a lose-lose for me no matter what. So it's like, why even bother telling your friends, telling your parents your stock picks? You know, it's like, fuck, it's such an annoying thing to do sometimes. And sometimes that's how I feel about you guys. Hopefully you guys are actually taking the trades and the setups that I'm mentioning. Otherwise, it's like, why are you wasting your time watching me for an hour? You could go spend that time with your family members and actually do something productive, something fun instead. Right? Something fun. So C was a stock that we talked about yesterday. RTX was a stock we talked about yesterday. That didn't play out how I wanted it to. I wanted it to hold above 150. Did not hold above 150. Trade Desk, I expected Trade Desk to open at $90 or so. That didn't open up at 90. It actually started to stay below 85. And I talked about it, right? If the stock opens above 85, I like the long. If it opens below 85 or holds below 85, I don't like the long. What should I have done? I should have probably gone short. There was a short right here somewhere as the stock opens and gets below 85. There was also a short on the VWAP continuation on the move back into, look at that, right into yesterday's VWAP from the overnight continuation. If you were to throw in an anchored VWAP from that area right there, oh, okay, that actually comes higher. Never mind, that's pretty surprising. But yesterday's VWAP continued with the after hour move. That VWAP closed at $80, and you can see how basically you got the pullback right into $80 over here on Trade Desk. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh yeah, look at that. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if that $80 area is significant on the chart, and it was. So I have a line right at that 80.55, which was this previous high, and a line at that 85. What did the stock do? Give you a perfect $5 range to play with. I'm gonna have to write up Trade Desk today. I did not think I was gonna write up Trade Desk. I had CYCC, MPC, and SMCI to write up. So I'm gonna add Trade Desk to that list of stocks to write up today. CYCC, a small cap name that went a little bonkers. I'm not sure if I'm gonna write this name up honestly, because I don't know how I would have traded this. This is not my forte. You know, this is not my cup of tea. I don't really know how I would have traded this at all. So possibly just not writing this one up tonight. Going through some of the other stocks over here that are potentially worth talking about real quick. Let's take a look at the bank names that reported recently and the bank names that will be reporting tomorrow. Starting with JP Morgan, this looks like an absolute nothing burger to me now, right? You tried to break out higher, failed, potentially moving back lower and testing that 280 area. If we don't hold 280, then JP Morgan breaking down will be doomsday. There was a saying that one of my mentors, Ariel, mentions all the time. He says it's hard to be bearish on the market when semiconductors and banking sectors are bullish. This might change very soon. So if the banking sector with JP Morgan leading the sector, if it starts to look weak below 280, then that might be a little bit of a question mark. Wells Fargo already breaking down. Citigroup actually going on the opposite direction. Bank of America reporting tomorrow. America. Goldman Sachs reporting tomorrow, and wow, 700. I remember the stock last at 500. And Morgan Stanley also reporting tomorrow. Now, if these three big banks report negatively and push the banking sector downside, that's possibly going to add some pressure on on the other stocks in general, and also add some pressure on the semiconductor sector. At the moment, with the China news and the Nvidia China catalyst, the semiconductor sector obviously very, very strong. AMD actually gapping up and breaking out. I wanted this long on AMD above 147. It's a little too high for me to go long at the moment, so I would like for it to gap fill, pull back, show me support above 150, and then I will join the trend over here on AMD. You're also about to get the golden cross sometime today. I shouldn't say today, sometime tomorrow or sometime this week. You're about to get the golden cross on AMD, which is worth keeping an eye out for. Big volume candle, gap up, Nvidia, China news, and everything combined. It's hard to be bearish on the market again when the semiconductors are so strong. SMH as a whole basket gapped up today, up 2%. Some of the other semiconductors are still a little meh. For example, Micron. Oh, TSM trying to break all-time high here. Look at TSM. TSM trying to break all-time high, 234. That's something to keep an eye out for. Let's just keep a couple of these semiconductor stocks on our basket so we don't forget about that. 237.71, 237.71/238 is our area of interest. Obviously AMD, I would love for you to pull back to 150 to 147.75 if I remember correctly was the high. And then Nvidia, I mean, there's no real levels that I want to even put over here in my watch. It's just watching the stock, looking for 5-minute patterns, looking for basic traditional setups. It's at all-time high. There's no real levels. Like, it's either holding 170 or it's not holding 170. But besides that, there's, like, you know, you're just making up numbers at this point as to what is a level on the stock. So if it's holding above 170, no brainer long. If it's not holding 170, then you're questioning if it's a short. You're looking to see how the stock behaves on the pullback. Does it find buying at 169? Does it find buying at 165? Does it find buying at 160? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. But if it's holding 170, I will tell you what, I'm very, very interested on the long side on this name. It is a little extended on the daily chart, but it's Nvidia we're talking about, okay? It's freaking Nvidia, baby. Have I talked about MSTR yet? I have not. MSTR is going to struggle with the whole cryptocurrency catalyst. If that bill doesn't get passed through, then obviously Trump is not going to be happy, and if Trump is not happy about the crypto bill, he might do more irrational things, which will obviously make investors across the board scared. So at the moment, I am investor, or I have a long in MSTU, which is a 2x leverage MSTR. How MSTR is behaving is not really too negative at the moment. You know, the 9 EMA potentially catches up. This really doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters for this whole sector is what's happening with that bill. You know, you could be in the money today and you'll be out of the money tomorrow, and then you know, next thing you know, you're making millions of dollars, and when the bill gets passed through, or you got stopped out, but you didn't really track how the bill is flowing through the Congress and so on. So it's like you got to keep an eye out for these little things. Yeah, it's a technical breakout on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Yeah, it's a technical breakout for MSTR on the daily chart, but then you can't just simply trade purely off of that. You also gotta take a look at the other criterias in play for these sectors at the moment. So no real game plan over here. I'm already long on the swing account, so I don't really have to worry too much. If I do get stopped out, I get stopped out in profit at this point. So, you know, I'm not worried about this stock at all. When it comes to the day trade, it's very simple. You know, if Bitcoin's going up, I'm looking for longs on all of these names. If Bitcoin's going down, I'm looking for shorts on all of these names. So I don't even put levels for for these stocks anymore. It's whatever Bitcoin's doing. Oh, Bitcoin's going down? Okay, awesome. Let's look at MicroStrategy's chart. How does MicroStrategy's chart look today? Oh, looks like we're seeing some rejection around today's VWAP, around yesterday's VWAP. The opening range breakout happened and that got stuffed right back down right at yesterday's high. So we got sellers at yesterday's high. So just look at the chart, study the chart, analyze the chart, and see if there's a trade over there. I don't really think that MSTR is my vehicle of choice when I am looking for a day trade on Bitcoin at the moment. It's most likely IBIT or Coinbase, but yeah, MSTR is always on the watch, always on the list. I can't remember a single day where I haven't had MSTR on the watch list. Pick a day, any day on the watch list over here, and you will see MSTR showing up on there. Let's zoom down a little bit. Where is it? Oh, you're not on this one, huh? Oh, we caught one. We caught one watch list without MSTR. Oh, we caught another watch list without MSTR on there. Surprise, surprise, Prad. But no, there are non-stop periods where MSTR was always on the watch list without a doubt. Okay, moving on from the cryptocurrency basket, because right now I don't really want to focus on cryptocurrency stocks. I think the sector needs to figure out what they need to do. There's way better day trades out there besides the cryptocurrency basket. The banking sector is obviously reporting earnings tomorrow. Anything reporting earnings goes always high priority, first priority for me, and then the other names kind of go second and third in priority list. ASML, possibly a name that's a little bit of a high priority, but it's also low liquidity and a high notional price, which makes the stock really shit to day trade. So very low liquidity and a high volume price, which means spread is going to be nasty, makes it a very, very ugly day trade. But for the swing, I mean, if you can afford $1,000 per share and ASML reports well, this is in the semiconductor industry. This is like in the A labs and the Nvidias and so on. So if ASML reports well, you don't want to miss out on this one for some possible semiconductor exposure on the swing account. I sadly cannot afford ASML shares. I think at max I can buy like 3 or 4 shares, and then that would be like 10-20% of my portfolio. So I can't afford more than 2-3 shares of ASML in my account, and because of that, I'm not even gonna bother for my swing trade unless if ASML has some sort of a 2x 3x leverage ETF at a lower price doing a lot more volume. We can think about that. At the moment, it's just it's on the watch, but not sure if I'm going to do anything with the stock tomorrow. J&J was the other one that I want to quickly talk about. Previously, a stock that was very exciting to day trade, but ever since that Kenvue partner or split kind of just got muffled and started trading really sideways a lot. Like, I remember J&J being a really hot name to trade off of earnings reports, and now it's like, what the heck is this even bother? Like, why even bother with this name? Volume has been dying down on this. Anyways, they have a decent ATR, 2.25 ATR. If we do get above this 160 range off of an earnings report, let's say we gap up above 159.50, above 160, potentially worth keeping an eye out for a day trade over there and a swing trade, honestly. So I'll put it on the watch list, but I need to see it above 160 for the longs. For the shorts, possibly something like this. So if we get below this trend line and start to stay below the trend line, maybe around 151, 150, if we start staying below the trend line, I could see more downside opening up. But this is J&J, guys. Are they going bankrupt anytime soon? With Diddy out of the jail now, I don't think they're going bankrupt anytime soon, okay? He's single-handedly keeping the oil industry alive for J&J, so I don't think they're gonna go bankrupt anytime soon. And based off of that, I'm gonna be a little careful on the short side. I would love to see if buyers can show up above 160 so we can take advantage of J&J. That's a stock that's reporting earnings tomorrow pre-market. Anything else that I'm trying to forget over here? I'm trying to forget names because it's already 9 o'clock. I was gonna expect the stream to go a little bit earlier today because I do have to still walk my dog. I haven't walked my dog yet. Quickly, let's scan this area. FSLR, don't care. Chinese stocks, I did mention to you guys. There is NEM. SBET up 21% today. Holy smokes. Okay, not bad, SBET. You're going. SBET trying to do what it did previously. This is a stock that announced they had Ethereum on their portfolio not too long ago. Volumes increasing as the stock's going up is kind of nuts if you ask me. So SBET trying to do some fun stuff if you guys are interested in the cryptocurrency area still. Had something else. Baba, Baidu, Pinduoduo. All of these stocks are kind of getting interesting again. FUTU possibly worth keeping an eye on if it starts to show some traction above this area too. So Chinese stocks, don't forget them on your watch list. And then tomorrow after hours we have United Airlines. You have Alcoa, some of the names that we're going to be interested to take a look at, so make sure you're tuning in to stream for that. IPO calendar is dead if I remember correctly. Oh, holy smokes, what the fuck where did these come from? Okay, we don't care about that. We don't care about Mega Fortune. Come on, guys, what is this? Watch this be a stupid like a Bitcoin company. Oh my god. MGRT. Hong Kong, yes, that's what I like to see. It's not like we have had enough scams from China and Hong Kong yet. PHH, for example. OST, for example. PSLA, for example. Was it PSLA? PCLA, for example. Oh my god. $11 employees. Oh man, I love Chinese scams, dude. $62 million enterprise. Total valuation of the company, $62 million company. PE ratio, 127. Yo, I'm melting in my chair, bro. Who makes these companies, dude? Wait, shouldn't? Hold up. Hold up. Wait. MG. What was the ticker? What details do you have about Mega Fortune Co. Limited IPO? Let's see what AI can find for us. But obviously, bullshit company. I'm not even gonna entertain it anymore. Another bullshit company over here. Robot Consulting Co. LAWR. Bullshit companies upon bullshit companies, man. Labor Robot. Robot Consulting is a provider of on-human resource solutions with intended to expand into legal technology and the metaverse. These are the stocks that are IPOing right now, chat. Okay, Japan stock, Indian CEO. With the name like that, I'm already calling him a scammer. I'm sorry. But robotics in Japan could be real. So it's another bullshit company. That's what you're telling me. You use the word robot to confuse people, but you don't really have a robot. All you have is a technology software that allows you to basically manage human resources and logistics like shipping. You guys see this bullshit? Like, am I tripping? You guys see this nonsense that we're having to deal with in the IPO market right now? Come on, man. Bullshit company. Absolute bullshit company. What more do you need to know about this company? Like, like, well, look at this. Owned by a small group of shareholders, reducing some corporate government's requirements. Okay, proceeds from IPO expected to fund working capital, general corporate purposes. They're basically using the IPO to fund their lights, keeping the lights on, or their pockets. Come on, man. I don't need to show more, do I, guys? Like, all of these garbage companies. Okay, let's try. Now, show me what you have about... Absolute nonsense. What am I even looking at? The only legit company we have that's IPOing we have is right here. And then another, oh, McGraw-Hill is not a book publisher. That's a decent IPO. That's a decent IPO. That's a decent IPO. Everything else is bullshit. This one is possibly bullshit too. MJID. What do you do? I don't know what to say, man. Trump, just allowing all the bullshits back into the market. Gotta love it. NIQ. What does NIQ do? A legitimate company. A legitimate company. This is not a BS company. Finally, a good company that actually might be worth taking a look at. That's on July 23rd, my birthday. Oh, sorry, not my birthday. Ignore I said that. July 23rd. That's a pretty good date over there. The best date out there in the world. MH. Let's see if you are the publishing company that I am thinking about. Yeah, you are the book publisher, McGraw-Hill. So that's also a legitimate company. These two IPOs we do care about. The rest of them can absolutely die for all I care. What nonsense companies those three are. Let me just do this. I'll do this afterwards for myself. I don't need to do this live. Last but not least... Dude, I am not going to use you if you do this. This is garbage. Yeah, let's look at this real quick. Anyways, I want to see econ calendar, finance. Is there some way to put a? They have an earnings calendar. Can we get an economic calendar, please? Oh, you know what? This is what I do now. This is what I do. I copy this. I go here. I go at PPL Finance. I think the next edition should be an economic calendar. No reason for garbage. Because I don't want to see hentai ads. Uh-oh. Edit. We spelled economic wrong. Boom. Update. Done. Alright, chat. Economic calendar. I guess I'm not going to show it to you because we don't have a non-ads version. Make sure you do your homework on that side. Figure out what's going on with the economic calendar. I'm going to have to find another source to show you guys. But for now, I don't have it. It's also past 9. It's time for me to call it a night. We did our basic work for tomorrow. Talked about some stocks that might be interested in trade. I'm going to do some more homework off stream. I also have to do some write-ups. I'm hungry as hell. And I'm tired as hell. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I don't have to deal with this annoying bus schedule that I have to. The roads outside of my house are completely blocked off. They're doing renovations. And because of that, the bus schedules are all like whack. They're all out of whack and it's really annoying. So I'm gonna have to figure that part out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Come back 8 o'clock, same time, same place. I'm out. Have fun on the market. Make some money. Peace. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.